Alright, so John Colo at discountjuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. This episode, I'm going to share with you guys why you shouldn't buy a Nama J2 juicer on Amazon and what will happen if you try to. So my name is John Kohler, and I own the website discountjuicers.com. I've been juicing now for 28 years. I've been selling juicers online for 25 years, and I've been creating YouTube videos comparing all the major brand juicers and even non-major brand ones for the last 15 years. My goal is to share with you guys the truth about juicers so that you guys can buy the right juicer for you and get a good quality juicer the first time instead of having to buy cheap juicers, have them break, be able to get no warranty, and then have to buy another. Or buy a juicer that you get frustrated with, that you're not happy about, and then you have to return it, and then you have to find something else. I'm here to save you guys time and money with my expert juicer knowledge. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys try to go to Amazon.com and buy a Nama J2 juicer and search Nama J2, these are the results that might pop up, as you guys can see, right? You may see an ad for the Omega, you may see an ad for the Hurom, you also may see an ad for the off-brand juicer right here with a hopper that looks very similar to the Nama J2 juicer. The Nama J2 juicer is not sold on Amazon. You'd have to ask Nama why they don't choose to sell on Amazon. The only two authorized locations in the United States at this time is through namawell.com or discountjuicers.com. If you see any of their websites selling the Nama, it may be a fraudulent website. That being said, you know, if you try to buy the Nama J2 on Amazon and then you see the Omega, you might try to buy the Omega and then you might think, oh, that looks like the J2, must be the same thing for whatever reason. This might happen to you. We'll throw up a review by a lady who bought the Omega on Amazon and she thought she was getting the Nama J2, and boy, was she in for a big surprise. Now, I'm not going to say really anything bad about the Omega. I'm going to say it is not the Nama J2, although it is made in the same factory. And if you guys want to learn more about the Omega, where I compare it head-to-head against the Nama J2, check the link down below in the description where I compare these two machines head-to-head. Clearly, each of these machines have their own sets of pros and cons. And of course, both these machines are made in South Korea and have a full 15-year warranty. Another juicer you may see without size perspective is the Hurom H310. You know, because you don't see a size perspective on Amazon because they don't compare the sizes, you know, you won't see that it's significantly smaller than the Nama J2. The problem I see with the Hurom H310 is that you're basically shorting yourself of the warranty. It only has a 2-year parts warranty, whereas the Nama J2 has a full 15-year warranty on the parts. In addition, it's rather small and the capacity is limited, and in my testing, it took longer to juice. Link down below to my video where I compare the Hurom H310 to the Nama J2 juicer, so you guys could see the full comparison that I did. Now, another juicer you may see is this guy. I forget the name. It's called the Amumu or something. And then there's gonna be new brands, and these are made in China, whereas all the other hopper-based machines are made in South Korea. China is now making these hopper-style juicers, and if you look at the reviews of one, I'll throw it up right there. Boom. This lady is like, oh, the Nama J2 is expensive. This looks the same. I'm just going to buy it. And her results, you know, she seemed to like this machine. That being said, I doubt that she's compared it directly to the Nama J2 because I've used this machine once, actually before filming this video. And while it does kind of work, I'm going to say it's nowhere or nothing like a Nama J2. So be wary of any other kind of Chinese-made juicer with a hopper. It's definitely not the same. And that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to do an in-depth comparison of the new Chinese knockoffs, I'll call them, compared to the original Nama J2 juicer. And I know some of you guys shop on price, and of course the Chinese machines are a fraction of the cost, maybe 2 to 3 times less than a Nama J2 juicer. But you guys know you get what you pay for, right? If you're shorting yourself on buying a juicer, it may not run as long. It will not have as good of a warranty. It will not be made with, you know, BPA-free parts like the NAMA J2. They're going to claim a lot of things, and I've found a lot of Chinese sellers online will say a lot of things just to sell the machines. You also may not even have a warranty, although it says it has a warranty. The company may just fold up shop one day and they have no parts available in the United States to ship you, and very limited warranty service. So, you know, you guys get what you pay for. In any case, let's go ahead and focus on the Chinese knockoff sold on Amazon now and the original J2 and compare these units head to head so you guys could learn the full and complete differences. And maybe, a matter of fact, when I test these machines juicing even amounts of produce a little bit later in this episode, maybe the Chinese knockoff will beat the NAMA J2. I highly doubt that, but I'm really curious to see. So the first thing I want to show you guys is I want you guys to click that subscribe button and click the little bell if you're not already subscribed to my channel. On my channel, you'll find many different juicer comparisons, and I'll go deep dives into different juicers, as well as share my expert juicing tips and tricks and information about juicing you're not going to hear on any other channel. I also look up the latest science to show you guys the benefits of juicing. Now, the next thing I want to share is, you know, my company is called Discount Juicers. I started my company back in 1998 to save you guys money on juicers, and that's what I still do to this day. If you guys are looking to buy the NAMA J2 juicer, I want to save you guys 10% off the price of the NAMA J2. In addition, NAMA has payment plans. They work with Hurom and Shop Pay so that you guys could even buy the NAMA J2 if you don't have all the money now on payment plans, some with even no interest. So if you guys want to buy the NAMA J2, make sure you use the coupon code GENUINE10 for 10% off the NAMA J2. No matter where you live in the world, NAMA will ship to most countries around the world, and actually they just lowered their international shipping rates, sometimes as low as like 30 euros from what I've seen. Of course, your country may vary. And when you guys use that coupon code GENUINE10 to save 10% off or $55 in the United States, Nemo showed me a small commission so I could continue to make these educational videos for you guys. Buy the produce I'll be juicing in this episode, buy juicers so that I could test them for you guys, pay my video editor, power my lights. I appreciate you guys so much who will use my coupon code and save yourself some money, but more importantly, help me continue my mission to educate the world about the power of juicing. And you know, frankly guys, I don't want you guys to buy a juicer that's not going to serve you well or serve your needs. You know, a lot of companies unfortunately make a lot of claims, and even other influencers make some claims that I would not agree with, because I just want the truth be told out there. So when you guys use my coupon code instead of others, you support me so that I can continue my mission to share the truth about juicing and juicers. So thank you so much. So now we're going to go ahead and compare part by part both these machines against each other so you guys could learn how they're similar and how also they are different. And also I'll talk about the build quality and share my thoughts on each of the juicers. All right, number one is that these are hopper style juicers. They're the game-changing juicer technology that allows you to open up the lid, load up this top hopper with all the different fruits and vegetables you want to juice, shut the lid, and literally walk away and let the juicer do all the work while you are doing something else. In the NAMA J2, this is quite refined. It took them 3 years to basically come up with this, refine it, tweak it, and get it right before they released it to the public. And it works quite well. I haven't found a machine that works as well as the NAMA J2 in terms of feeding things in, chopping things up, and just working basically perfectly every single time. You load it up, and when you turn it on, it can run between 3 and 5 minutes depending on what you fill it with, and it can make 24 to 32 ounces of juice in one fall swoop. While it does include a pusher, I've never used the pusher in the NAMA J2. Over on the Chinese knockoff juicer, which may be sold under many different brand names, it also has that kind of trademark hopper with a similar look to the NAMA J2, with even a similar handle right here, right? This top is not removable where it is on the J2. You load stuff up into this, you shut the lid, and then you turn it on, which also has a similar on-off switch. So they really worked hard to basically make it look like the NAMA J2 to potentially fool people into thinking this is an AMZChef J2 or just a cheaper model or something very similar on Amazon. That being said, you do need to use the pusher with this. Unlike the AMZChef J2, when I used this the first time, I found produce that just did not properly go down into the auger and get juice. So I had to basically use the pusher to kind of push it down a little bit more. So that's one thing to consider, right? Now the next thing is I want to go ahead and take these machines apart, part by part, to show you guys the differences between them. All right, first we got the AMZChef J2, all the juicing parts. Next we got this guy, and on this guy you can't just lift it off. You actually have to actually open the lid to remove the hopper on and off. If you have the lid closed, you know, you will not be able to take it apart or put it together. So remember that, it's a little bit odd. So you can take it apart and pull it apart, all right? So you guys can see clearly there's a difference in the size, right? The AMZChef J2 is a deluxe size, holds up to 2 liters of food in the hopper area, and this guy holds a lot less. So let me see if I show you guys this. Let's see, the height is approximately the same, but the diameter is much smaller on the Chinese, I will say, knockoff version, which may be sold under many different brand names. So we take the hopper off here, and as you guys can see, the hopper and the juicing screen comes out in one fall swoop, which is an interesting design. Also, this the lid is hinged and it is non-removable. Meanwhile, on the AMZChef J2, we can take this apart, and you could actually take off the lid for cleaning if you'd like. And this is a separate part, so we just have the hopper here, and at the bottom of the hopper, I want you guys to pay attention to this, there is what's called a processing blade. This is the magic of the AMZChef J2. The processing blade will pre-cut the items you put into the hopper even smaller, and then, more importantly, feed it into the juicer at a slow and moderate rate so it doesn't clog or jam, you know, unless it's some extraordinary situation based on my testing when you are preparing produce as recommended in the instruction manual. So that's the secret. It has a processing blade. Okay, next let's look at this, the Chinese knockoff, right? Where's the processing blade? There's nothing. This is basically just a large hopper that you just fill up. All the produce is sitting there waiting for the auger of the juicer to catch it and juice it. You know, in this way, I feel that this machine may feed produce in too quickly because it's not being moderated other than how fast this auger can grind things up. In addition, you may have also things clog and jam in here because they may get stuck to the wall and not drop down, because this machine relies on gravity to, you know, basically auto feed the produce in the machine. Whereas an AMZChef J2 not only relies on gravity, which is very important, but also this processing blade with a very aggressive design they went through so many revisions of this processing blade so that it actually chops things up and also, more importantly, agitates and basically feeds item into the juicer at a slow and moderate rate. So that is really the key difference between these two machines. This has a special processing blade designed to do such a task to use with a hopper, whereas on this machine it looks like they just took a regular juicer that has an auger and just put a big hopper on it, you know, to kind of, I don't want to say trick you guys to think, oh, it's just like the NAMA, but it's completely different. Now next coming out on the AMZChef J2, we got the auger, which we'll talk about in a minute, but in the AMZChef J2 we also have a juicing screen and wiping blade, right? Very important. On the Chinese knockoff, as you guys can see, on the bottom of the hopper, it's attached. We have what looks like a juicing screen, but along basically 3/4 of the where the juicing screen should be, it's just solid plastic. Now, why is having a juicing screen that has holes all the way around it, right, a good idea? Because when there's more holes and juice is being created, there's more opportunities for the juice to come out of the holes and end up in your glass, meaning the AMZChef J2 should get a higher yield than the Chinese knockoff, because most of the Chinese knockoff, there are no holes here. The pro, of course, besides a lower yield, the pro of this style is that there is less to clean because you only need to scrub out this little small stainless steel section when cleaning it. Now, the other thing I will say is, to me, the stainless steel screen seems pretty thin. Like I juiced only once with it with some carrots and it looks like it's already denting, which is not necessarily a good thing. So I'm concerned about the long-term durability of that part. Whereas I've juiced so many times in the Nama J2, once again, this is made in China. This is made in South Korea. So more opportunities. Now, yes, it will take longer to clean than the Chinese knockoff, but is more juice worth it? And that is a question you must ask yourself. Now, the next thing on the Nama J2 that the Chinese knockoff does not have is an automatic wiping blade. Imagine driving down the freeway in your car without windshield wipers. The automatic wiping blade is what your windshield wipers do to your window when you're driving down the freeway and it's raining. You couldn't see if you didn't have windshield wipers. So this automatic wiping blade, as the machine is running, is spinning around, and the little silicone squeegees, much like wipers on your car made of the high-end ones are made of silicone, basically wipe down this screen and fluff off the juice, slosh off the juice to go into the cup, direct it in your cup, and keep the screen cleaner. So it does not get severely impacted with pulp when you're done. So this, once again, is an extra part to clean. The extra part to clean is the con. The pro is, hey, it's going to basically keep the screen clean so you could juice, bulk juice, for a much longer amount of time. As a matter of fact, I used the Nama J2 to make 3 gallons of juice yesterday myself. All right? So yeah, that's the difference between the screens and the hoppers. Next, let's go ahead and pull out the augers of each machine. So here is the auger on the Chinese knockoff. It's actually quite light, hollow on the inside. As you guys can see, it goes up, and there's this there's like this X in the middle. I don't know if you guys can see that, but like the problem with this is that pulp gets stuck in here, deep inside here. This auger is much more difficult to clean than the auger of the Nama J2, because while it does have a recess, there's no X in there, so it's a lot easier to get into. In addition, the auger of the Nama J2 is made out of the Ultem plastic, which is a really hard and durable plastic, 8 times harder than plastic used on juicers before, the Ultem started being used. Meanwhile, on the Chinese knockoff, I don't know what plastic this is. It doesn't quite have the sheen of the Ultem plastic, nor the weight. So I'm not really sure what plastic they are using on this machine. As you guys can see, the auger shape is different. The Nama J2 auger is designed with these little divots to quiet the juicer as it's running. In addition, it has basically, it chops it up into smaller pieces and then runs it down the auger as it's crushing and squeezing and the juice comes out. So I consider this a cold press juicer, although some may call it a masticating juicer because it juices by chewing, which is kind of right, but not exactly, because true masticating juicers run at a high speed, whereas this runs at a low and slow 50 revolutions per minute. Whereas on this auger here, it operates pretty much the same way inside the juicing screen as the Nama, although I'm not sure about the tolerances. If the tolerances are not perfectly designed, the pulp will not be ground up as well, nor will it extract as much juice. I'm seeing a little bit of wear on this screen from the first time I juiced in it, whereas I've juiced in the Nama so many times and I'm not seeing any wear on the screen myself. Generally, these are non-wearable parts. So the next thing, actually, while we're talking about parts and all that, the warranty on the Nama J2 is 15 years on the motor body and 15 years on all the parts. Guys, this is a one-time investment. You guys could buy something good, right? Or you guys could buy something cheap. On the Chinese knockoff, this one happens to have a 1-year warranty. Some companies may have a 2-year warranty, but nonetheless, you guys get what you pay for. And not to mention, while it does claim a 1-year warranty, doesn't mean the company will be around in 1 year. I guarantee Nama will be here and be around for the next 15 years. I know the owner, I know all the major players at the company. They are one solid company. And they've been in business many years before they even brought the Nama J2 to the market, as well as they have new machines on the horizon, hopefully coming out in the future. Last up, we want to discuss the juicing bowls, and that's where all the juicing occurs. On the Nama J2, this is made out of the Eastman Triton material. That's the BPA-free material. You can tell because it has like the way I tap on it, I can tell it's not polycarbonate. Whereas on the Chinese knockoff, much higher pitch, not sure what plastic. They do not disclose, although on the box it says BPA free, which I don't know that I would necessarily trust. Seems like higher pitch could even be, I don't know what it is. So nonetheless, The weight of these parts is a little bit different. This is a lot lighter. This is a lot more heavy duty. As you guys can see on this machine, there's no ribbing on the bottom, so it's not reinforced. So this machine may have some challenges with breakage in the future. On the bottom of the NAMA J2, you guys can see there's all this ribbing design, which basically strengthens the unit so it does not break. In addition, on the NAMA J2, you have a spout cap that you could open and close. As you do on the Chinese knockoff, you also have a spout cap. Now, what you don't have on the Chinese knockoff is the easy clean pulp port. You know, so this is where all the juice pulp comes out. When you're done juicing the NAMA J2, you know, it's hard to reach your fingers in here, get the brush and brush in here. So NAMA basically just has a little clip so you can open it up and easily clean out all this area that pulp gets stuck in when you are done juicing. In addition, they have a silicone tab that is easily removed, so you can remove it to clean underneath. Whereas on the Chinese knockoff, you guys can see this is just a port where the pulp comes out. You can't get in there. It doesn't drop open. And there's a little tab here that's on a little hinge, right? NAMA will sell those little, you know, silicone parts on their website for a few dollars. And if you guys lose this or this breaks, I doubt that this company will have any spares for you, which might make your juicer not operable. So yeah, I mean, the other thing is that there's basically a higher level on this where the juice comes out, and then the lower level is where the pulp is ejected out of the machine. On the bottom of the NAMA J2, it's basically just all one level. So that makes this part actually easier to clean on the NAMA J2. Okay, so these are all the different juicing parts. As you guys can see on the Chinese knockoff, there's 1, 2, 3 parts to clean. On the NAMA J2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts to clean. So there are definitely more parts to clean on the NAMA than the cheap one. But I guess the question is the performance worth it, and is the long warranty and durability and safety aspects of the machine worth it as well? Now, the other thing I want to discuss real quick here is the motor body, right? So I weighed the motor body of the NAMA. It's approximately 8 pounds, 5 ounces or something like that. Whereas the motor on the Chinese knockoff is, wow, this is a lot lighter, 4 pounds, 13 ounces. So it's almost half the weight of the NAMA J2 motor. You know, while this is rated actually higher wattage, so it actually draws more current, doesn't necessarily mean it's stronger. Whereas the NAMA, why is it heavier? That's because, in my opinion, it has a lot more copper coils in there and has a lot more torque and is a more durable motor, in my opinion. Of course, this is made in South Korea. That is made in China. So the motor weight is twice as heavy, guys. This is huge for those of you guys that know about motors and the copper windings and all these things. I mean, NAMA put an oversized kind of like torquey motor in this machine compared to others on the market so that they get the perfect results. And that's the thing, man. They did a lot of engineering to dial it in just right so that it gets rave reviews. You may see all the rave reviews and you'll understand why it does. That's because it's properly engineered and designed, and NAMA will continue to make small incremental improvements in it over time to make it even better. And I doubt that these Chinese manufacturers are going to improve their machine once they make it, because they're just blowing them out the door and trying to sell them. It's a one-time juicer purchase. When it breaks, you just got to buy another one, whereas NAMA wants to create a relationship. You know, I encourage you guys to get on NAMA's email list. You know, they send out helpful tips and tricks and recipes and knowledge about fruits and vegetables and juicing to help you guys make the lifestyle changes you want. All right, so next up, let's go ahead and assemble both these machines. So both these machines should be assembled first off the unit. First, we'll assemble the Chinese knockoff. We're going to go ahead and take the auger, drop that into the bowl. We're going to go ahead and then put this on the main housing. And then the most important part is we're going to make sure that the lid is open, and we're going to drop this in and we lock it in place, and then and only then can we close the lid. If we try to assemble the lid first and then lock it in place, it's not going to work. Now with the NAMA J2, super simple, super easy to assemble. We're going to take the automatic wiping blade, shove that onto the screen. There's these tabs on the juicing screen and corresponding tabs in the bowl, small and large. So we're just going to line up the small and large tabs. We're going to go ahead and then take the auger, drop that in the machine, we're gonna go ahead and take the top housing and put the hinge lid on there, drop that into place. Most important, you wanna line up this back part of the NAMA with this part on the bottom, and you're gonna offset it. And then you're just gonna go ahead and lock it in place, and then you can set this whole top set up on the juicer, and if you assemble it properly, it will turn on. The problem is most people don't assemble it properly because they try to assemble it on top of the machine, and then this handle is in the back, and then it does not turn on. Biggest problem I've seen with the NAMA when people buy it. Like, they're so excited to use it, they assemble it improperly, now they think they got a defective machine, when in fact it is what I would consider a user error. So now that we got these machines assembled, the next thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and do a decibel test with my sound meter to find out which one of these juicers is louder. All right, first up, the NAMA J2. All right, we're peaking out at 63 decibels. That's quite quiet. All right, next let's try the Knockoff machine. All right, looks like we peaked out around 73 decibels, so that's actually 10 decibels more loud. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that the RPMs on the NAMA J2 are shared as 50 revolutions per minute, and the RPMs on the Knockoff not shared, but I'm going to say it runs at a slow RPM, which is definitely good, so it could have a lot of time to make that juice you want. The next thing I want to share is that the plug for this machine is fixed. It is non-removable, and it has no ground, so that may not be as safe. In addition, the on-off control and momentary reverse is on the back of the machine, which I find interesting, whereas on the NAMA J2, it's on the front for easy access. And on the NAMA J2, it actually uses the standard IEC cable with a 3-prong, so it has a ground as well. So this makes moving it and storing it a lot easier. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is the accessories that come with each of the machines. You know, with the Knockoff, you get a small little instruction book that's just a few pages. With the NAMA J2, you get a quick start guide, an instruction book, as well as a recipe book. Show you guys different recipes so you guys could start your healthy diet and making juices today. NAMA is here to help you and support you in your transition to eating healthier and losing weight. Whereas this company is just selling you a juicer, right? In addition, inside the instruction manual shares the warranty of the NAMA J2, which is a full 15 years. And in the instruction booklet and the packing material with this, there is no warranty information to be found, nor is there any contact information of the company. So once again, guys, you guys get what you paid for. You know, if you guys are buying one of these, I would consider personally a disposable juicer, and you have disposable income. Maybe if you're not going to juice a long time, you know, this juicer is going to work. But you know what? I encourage you guys to do it right the first time. Buy a juice that's going to last with a company that's going to support you. In addition, this machine comes with the oversized juice and pulp collection cups. This machine has smaller pulp and juice collection cups. In addition, the NAMA J2 comes with a coarse screen, which they call a smoothie attachment. And also, of course, the NAMA J2 has the optional sorbet attachment. I'll put a link down below to the video where I make sorbet and nut butters with the NAMA J2. This is one task the Knockoff definitely cannot do. So I guess with that, let's go ahead and set up for juicing, where we juice even amounts of produce in each machine to show you guys how long it takes, and more importantly, the yield each machine makes and how much pulp is put into each of the juices. All right, let's go ahead and do a weigh-in on the scales. Over on the Knockoff side, looks like we got 2854 grams. We're juicing pineapple, oranges, carrots, and a little bit of ginger. And then over to the NAMA J2 side, looks like we also got 2854 grams, and same pineapples, oranges, carrots, and ginger. See if I can show you guys both scales at the same time. 2854 on both scales, so it looks like we have a fair fight. All right, so first up, let's go ahead and get the scales out of the way, and today I think I'll be juicing first in the NAMA J2 juicer. Now, it's important when loading the NAMA J2 or any hopper style machine is to load it properly. The main goal with loading is you want to put the lighter stuff on the bottom and the heavier stuff on top. So we're going to probably mix in even amounts of pineapple with orange, and then throw a few carrots in there. Load up the hopper, shut the lid, and actually we're just going to go ahead and walk away and let the juicer run without me. And then I may need to like load up the hopper like a couple times. We will also be timing this so you guys can see how long this entire process takes juicing in the NAMA J2 as well as the knockoff. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the start button there. Let's go ahead and load up the J2. So first we're just going to go ahead and take these oranges and just drop them into segments, a couple different segments. We're going to go ahead and take a handful of pineapple, drop that in there. We're going to go ahead and take a handful of carrots, drop that in there. We're going to go ahead and take some more oranges, drop it in there, and a few more pineapples and carrots. And now we're just going to go ahead and shut the lid, and we can turn the machine on. And that's the amazing thing about the NAMA J2 is that it does the juicing without you. It's properly designed to basically rotate the items with the processing blade, chop them up into smaller pieces, feed them in the machine at the proper rate, and then kick out the pulp on there without you. So we're just going to go ahead and head out of the picture and let the machine do all the work while I do something else. So before I knew it, the machine basically emptied itself, so we need to load up the hopper again. Once again, we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and load up the oranges, put some pineapple, and then some carrots. That seemed to work really well. Oh, we can't forget about the ginger. We're going to go ahead and throw the ginger in there right now. And throw some more oranges in there. And get the juicer started back up, and we're going to continue juicing. Looks like we are collecting some pulp in the sieve. So we're just going to go ahead and tap this down while the juicer's working. Alright, so once the hopper empties on the NAMA J2, you want to let it continue to run because normally there's some produce still working itself through the machine right after the hopper empties. How you'll tell when it's done is if the juice stops flowing out of the machine and the pulp stops flowing, which looks like the pulp stops moving and the juice is pretty much down to a dribble. So we're going to go ahead and turn it off and call it a day. And so as you guys can see, it took 5 minutes and 52 seconds, just under 6 minutes to juice in the NAMA J2. Let's see if the knockoff takes less or more time. All right, let's go ahead and start juicing in the knockoff. Hit the start, open the lid. And we're just going to do the same technique of loading it up with some of the oranges first, and then get into the pineapple, followed by some of the carrots. Now this hopper is a lot smaller, so it will take us several more loads than with the NAMA J2 that took basically 2.5 loads to fill up. All right, shut the lid and turn it on. Definitely a lot louder. As you guys can see, the juice is coming out, and actually it's squirting pulp out the juice out the pulp port. All right, we're just going to go ahead and sit here and watch it because it looks like the produce is emptying out of the hopper so quickly, so I'm not going to have time to do much else because the hopper is so small. Alright, so it looks like the knockoff machine is done. We're going to go ahead and turn it off and hit stop there. And it looks like it took a little bit over 11 minutes. So it took about 5 minutes longer to make the juice the same amount of produce in the knockoff machine. As you guys can see, the pulp container is all the way full. And both machines definitely did put some pulp into the juice. The sieves caught all the pulp and are having problems going down because some of the pulp is fine. So I think what I'm going to do next for you guys is go ahead and tap these down. Nope, we're first going to tip both machines up. So I always like to tip the machines up. See if I get any last bits of juice out before I close the spout cap. And the same thing on the NAMA J2. All right, we're going to bring these juices up front and center for you guys to look at. But before we give you guys a comparison of the yields, we're going to go ahead and try to shake down the juice in the sieve to see actually how much pulp was put into each of the juicers. Alright guys, so I've been shaking this down, and as you guys could see, each of the machines put some pulp in the juice. The pulp on the knockoff seems to be a lot more coarse, actually not ground up as well, so a lot larger particles. And the pulp on the NAMA J2 is a lot more fine. In addition, if you guys look at the juice carefully, you might see the shade of juice color on the NAMA J2 is a bit darker orange than on the knockoff machine. That's because I believe it ground the produce up better and extracted more nutrients out of the juice. Next up, let's go ahead and weigh out each of these pulps to see how much pulp was actually put in the juice. All right, so on the Nama J2 side, looks like we got a total of 31 grams of pulp. Next up on the knockoff, 54 grams of pulp. So that was like 20 odd more grams of pulp in the knockoff machine versus the authentic machine. All right, next let's go ahead and do a close-up on the yields for you guys so you guys can see the difference each juicer made. All right, let's go ahead and check out the yields. Over on the Nama J2 side, looks like we got just above 2 quarts of juice, or 8 cups of juice right there. And if we just kind of even over to the knockoff side, man, looks like it actually kept up. Looks like we got basically 7 3/4 cups of juice. So, you know, it almost made as much juice, but, you know, here's the difference, all right? So while both machines have a little bit of foam on the top, definitely not much, I want you guys to clearly see the color. We're going to move these kind of closer together so you guys could see the color difference on those. I don't know if you guys could see the color difference on those machines, on the juices. So I want you guys to look at like the specific top of the juice right there. It looks more transparent, you know, at the top, and, you know, then it kind of gets a bit deeper at the bottom. But I mean, over on the Nama J2, the color is more consistent and a deeper orange. What that means to me is that there is actually more beta carotene in the juice, more nutrition in the juice. So while the yield was a little bit less, you know, I'm going to estimate that the nutrition in the juice is a fair bit less, okay? So let's go ahead and do a taste test on these juices. All right, next up, let's go ahead and do a taste test on the juices. First, we'll try the Knockoff Juicer. To your health. I'm tasting kind of like orange, a little bit of pineapple. I don't really taste the carrot too much. I mean, it's a good juice. I think this is a good juice. Next, let's go ahead and try the Nama J2 juice. Wow, this is interesting, actually. It's a lot thick, like a little bit thicker. It's not like a nectar, but it's more thick. Like this, like if you do an orange press, like a press machine that presses out the orange juice, that's what this got. With this, there's like some texture in there. Wow. Oh my gosh, guys. This is hard to describe, but let me try to describe it. So this is a more, I would say, rich juice. This kind of tastes more like, quote unquote, water. This tastes more like juice, where you got some texture and you get a lot more flavors than just like the orange juice that was squeezed out of the orange. I taste the orange. I taste maybe some of the pith on the orange. I taste pineapple, and also the overtones of the carrot in there. And actually in this recipe, I don't even taste the ginger, which is good. Don't put too much ginger in your juice. A little bit goes a long way. Yeah, much better mouthfeel. This to me is a way more nutritious juice than this, although this made only slightly bit less. The quality of the juice is less than the Nama J2. So let's go ahead and confirm this by actually looking at the pulp that each of the juicers created, okay? So first, the Nama J2 pulp, we're gonna go ahead and dump out on this side. And next, the pulp from the knockoff machine over on this side. That's what it looks like. And let's go ahead and flatten this out a little bit so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, so to the untrained eye, that actually looks very, very similar. You can see the oranges kind of came out. But, you know, once we start feeling the pulp, like feeling it between our fingers, you can clearly feel that the Nama J2 pulp is a lot more fine. It's a lot more well ground up. Now that's what you want when you buy a juicer. You want the juicer to grind up the particles to the smallest particle size as possible to extract all the nutrients that are locked within the cells of the produce that you're juicing. If we go ahead and feel the pulp on this, to me it's a lot more coarse. It's not as finely ground. This is also evident by the pulp that was put in the juicer as well. A lot more pulp and a lot larger chunks, right? The Nama J2 ground up the produce so well that it basically put microparticles in the juice that was even able to get through the sieve, smaller than the holes in the sieve. These are some of the different beta-carotenes and other micronutrients that are contained within the carrots and other fruits and vegetables that you're going to get into you when you drink the juice. All right, so that's a very important point I want you guys to understand. I don't know if you guys could see that on the camera, but you could clearly see the Nama J2 juice is a shade darker, and I honestly wish you guys were here to try it. On the outset, it looks like, oh yeah, this is a Nama J2, works kind of like the same, makes the similar quantity juice just by, made a little bit less yield. But what's different with both the juicer and the juice it creates is the quality of the machine, guys. You guys get what you pay for, and if you guys don't have the money to buy the Nama J2 and you want to get a cheap machine and shortchange yourself of nutrition and also shortchange yourself of the warranty and a long-lasting juicer, and this machine will probably end up in a USA landfill, whereas the Nama J2 juicer, I've sold juicers produced in this factory 20 years ago when I started my business that are still running today. This is a very high quality machine. Now I know some of you guys may not have the money to put towards the Nama J2 to buy such a high-end juicer, but what I'm going to tell you is this. You guys only have one life. You only have one health, right? You only have one opportunity at life. I want you guys to not shortchange yourself by shortchanging your nutrition, by maximizing your nutrition when you do juice. Another thing that I believe is that juicing should be a lifestyle habit. You shouldn't just go on a juice fast for 60 days to lose some weight, because going on a juice fast for 60 days, while you will probably lose some weight, the problem is once you get off that juice fast, you're going to go back to eating the foods you ate before the juice fast. You're going to gain the weight back. Then you're going to have to do a juice fast again, right? A much more sustainable approach to me is to drink juice every day instead of eating breakfast, for example. You are now displacing foods that you'd be eating that is not as healthy as juice, but more importantly, you're going to make juicing a habit in your life so that you can continue with this, and you're not going to get the drastic weight changes that you're going to get if you go on a juice fast. You will lose weight slowly, but more importantly, in the long run, you will keep it off. Whereas if you go on a juice fast with a cheap machine, you use once and then you got to throw it away because next year it doesn't work anymore and there's no warranty, right? You're going to be covered. So I think for your long-term health investment, the J2 is what you should be buying for the 15-year warranty, the higher juice quality, not to mention that it took 5 minutes less to juice. Actually, the last thing I want to go ahead and take apart both machines to show you guys what's left in each of the machines when you're done juicing. All right, so let's go ahead and take off the knockoff machine. So first we gotta open the lid up and move this to the side so we can actually take this apart and pull that off. And if you guys look inside the machine, you guys are gonna see actually there's a bunch of produce still left in there that didn't actually get dropped in or ground down. That's some of the yield difference. In addition, if we look at the juicing screen, you guys can see that is just impacted with pulp. And as you guys can see, there's some pulp in the auger as well. And if we pull this up, you guys are going to see there's pulp in the auger and there's nothing actually underneath the auger today. And there's a little bit of pulp in there. And once again, 3 parts to clean. This machine is easier clean. I will not deny that. On the Nama J2, we're going to go ahead and take this apart. Now look at the difference in the hopper in the Nama J2, guys. Let me take that apart. How much pulp is left in the hopper of the Nama J2? I mean, there's a few small bits, but you know, compared to this, there's a lot more pulp left in the machine. Much better design machine that's going to last you for many years. Auger the J2, yes, there's some pulp on there, but it's pretty much clean underneath. once again, pretty much clean as well. Inside the juicing screen, there's a little bit of pulp you will need to clean as well. And of course, in the juicing bowl, there's some residual pulp at the bottom, and then you can just go ahead and open this spout and all the pulp will drop out. So yeah, that's what you get when you buy either of these two machines. I'm gonna tell you guys this. My life was changed by juicing. When I first went on my juicing kick, I did like a juice fast. I lost weight, but more importantly, I was able to continue my juicing on a regular and daily basis throughout my life to keep the weight off and get healthier. That is truly how you will gain the benefits of juicing. Not by a one-time fad juice fast diet, but by doing it for a long, sustained time. Honestly, if I ask you guys what machine is going to be better for your health in the long run, buying a machine with a 15-year warranty that's going to save you more time because it took 5 minutes less to juice approximately, made a more nutritious juice, or a machine that took longer to juice, made an inferior juice quality, has only a 1-year warranty if you could even get a hold of the company in a year, and they even have parts during that year, and if it breaks afterwards, you're gonna have to buy a new one. So that is the question I leave you with today. And of course, if you guys want to save the 10% off on the NAMA J2 and invest in your health, the most important thing you have, your health is worth more than all the money in the world, because the richest people in the world, they have all the money, but they may not have their health, and they can't buy their way out of the hospital. So the goal for me, and hopefully for you too, is prevention. And the NAMA J2 is a long-term investment strategy to build your health. It will be there when you need it, as long as you buy it, and more importantly, use it on a regular and everyday basis like I do myself to make the difference in my life. Now, when we're going to throw up the coupon code right there once again, for 10% off, when you guys use that coupon code, not only will you save 10% off, but of course NAMA will share with me a small commission so I can continue to make these educational videos for you guys, buy the juicers, and test them out for you guys so you guys know what you're going to get. If you guys end up wanting to buy the cheap machine, I'll put a link down below that is an Amazon affiliate link. That being said, I would encourage you guys to do the right thing, buy the NAMA J2. They have the time payments, with no interest. So even if you don't have enough today, you could afford the machine and get it today. Make payments so that you guys could get a juicer that will last, and also more importantly, a juicer that will have a high resale value. The resale value on this machine is going to be nothing. With the NAMA J2, it has a very high resale value because nobody wants to sell it once they buy it. Look on eBay, they sell for like almost the price that they sell for new for, guys. So once again, this is another good investment, not only for your health, but if you decide juicing is not right for you, you could still sell it and recoup a good percentage of your money on the NAMA J2. The NAMA J2 is my favorite juicer. I'll put some links down below to other videos I've made with the NAMA J2 down below. How easy it is for me to clean it. I could clean it in just a few minutes. I have videos on how I bulk juice, so I make a large amounts of juice at once, including green juice and my root juices, so I could get more of these nutritious greens. I have videos where I show you how to create your own green juice for beginners. I'm here to educate you guys about the power of juicing through all the different ways that I've learned over the many years. So please, guys, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already, and make sure you click the little bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes where I tell you guys the truth about juicers and share with you guys the pros and cons of each machine, right? So that you guys can make an informed decision and do what's right for you and your family. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, juicing with the knockoff versus the real, original, authentic NAMA J2, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. More importantly, please be sure to share this video with other people that may be considering buying an inexpensive juicer on Amazon. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new upcoming episodes. I've come out every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. And make sure you click the bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, don't forget to check my past episodes. The past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. I have more episodes on the NAMA J2 and show you guys the secrets and the tips that you're not going to hear on any other channel, because I want you guys to be juicers for life and do it in the best way possible, which is I am glad to share on my YouTube channel so that I could make the world a healthier place one person at a time. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.